Super Mario Galaxy is my favorite game of all time. It's just such a vibe of a game, so much so that there will never ever be another game like it. Except Mario Galaxy 2. Both Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are being re-released on the Switch 1 and 2, so I thought it'd be really good to just go through all of the Mario Galaxy 1 Galaxies just to see how good they are on a tier list. Welcome to Tier List with mr-agame. I've got my mouse and a music stand as a makeshift platform. I'm going to be rating these galaxies generally based on vibes, music, fun factor as well. So if you guys want to do it along, I'm going to leave a link in the description below so you too can rate your Mario Galaxy galaxies. Gateway Galaxy is like the tutorial galaxy where you kind of learn the basics of being in space. You find all the bunnies and you learn what gravity is in the game, and you meet Rosalina, you learn how to spin, you fly off into space, beat up the Goombas, hit that massive thing, it goes doing. For a tutorial area, I think it's a really good start, but in terms of galaxies, like, it's fine. You do go back later on where you get the Flying Mario power-up, which is only used like in Rosalina's hub world anyway. But to get that power-up, you have to get 100 purple coins, and that is a pain. Have you tried flying upside down in the air trying to get purple coins? It's a nightmare. So for the tutorial section, I give it an A, but for the flying coin section, I give it a C. So I'm gonna split it down the middle. First Gateway Galaxy, B. There we go. Number one, right there. We've got a B. Good Egg Galaxy. Oh, I think this is probably my favorite galaxy in the entire game. This is the first level of the game, not the tutorial area, the first level. There is just something about when you land on that galaxy, welcome to the galaxy for the first time, and then the music starts blaring. Oh, it's just like a great playground to just get lost in space. And I love like the extra mission where Luigi just gets lost and he's just on top of the house at the very start of the level. Beautiful. Chuck it in there. S. Straight away. Give it an S. Honey Hive Galaxy has some pretty good vibes, and it has B Mario, so you know what that means. Just chuck that there in the B because B's. B Mario probably isn't my favorite power-up in the entire game, and I really don't like whatever vibes the Queen Bee is giving off. I just think there's something about her. The galaxy itself is fine. You know, it's got some good, nice guitar vibes. The music's pretty good. It was funny for the joke, but we're gonna give it an A. Flip Switch Galaxy is what I like to call an in-and-out galaxy. There's 1 star. For the first in-and-out galaxy, I think it's pretty decent. It's just all the panels on the ground, you run around, don't get killed, don't fall off into the black hole. What it does pretty well. I'm gonna give it a B. Sweet Sweet Galaxy is another in-and-out galaxy, but you have to pay to get in with the Hungry Luma. I really like Sweet Sweet Galaxy though. It's got the good vibes with all the candy everywhere. You feel like you're running on chocolate, and there's a cake at the end, and I'm pretty sure there's toads at the end going bop, 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 bop. Sweet Sweet Galaxy, I'm gonna put you in the B section, but you're better than Flip Switch Galaxy, so I'm gonna put Flip Switch Galaxy down to the C section. Gateway Galaxy, you can stay. Bowser Jr.'s Robot Reactor is the first boss level of the game. I think it's really cool when the cutscene plays where you start with Mario, then it zooms out to this massive robot. I just think that's really spectacular, and the running up is really, really fun. For the first boss fight, I think it's pretty decent. I'm gonna give this a B. This is the first observatory section done, so now we're on to what you would call World 2. Space Junk Galaxy, automatic S. Just get up there with Good Egg Galaxy. There's holes in this thing. Can I show you that there's holes? All right. You know those typical Mario Galaxy narrative YouTube videos of the sad loneliness of Super Mario Galaxy? Space Junk Galaxy is that. You feel alone in outer space. However, there's a beauty to being alone in outer space. It's just such a lovely, calm, peaceful environment to be in. And the music, spectacular. Automatic S. Battle Rock Galaxy, I think maybe an S rank galaxy or an A rank galaxy. I love the music. You feel like you're on a mission to succeed. There's cannons shooting at you the entire time. There's some sick explosions in it as well. So there's some good aura about, I shouldn't say aura. That feels wrong. I don't like that. There's just something about Battle Rock which just really gets you going, you know? You know what? No, I'm gonna put it in A. Rolling Green Galaxy, here's a hot one for you. I like this one. People don't like the motion controls of holding it up like this and tilting it all over the place, but honestly, I think it's fun. I think it's a little bit silly, and that's what video games are all about. Sometimes you just gotta be a little bit silly. It's an in and out Galaxy as well, and I think it does what it does very, very goodly. Well, yeah, get up there with Sweet Sweet Galaxy. Yeah, you guys are good. Loop-de-loop Galaxy. Okay, so now this is funny because after I've said all those wonderful things about Rolling Green Galaxy, I don't like the motion controls of tilting it like this and like this. What it does well, but I don't like this. I'm gonna put this in a C, knowing that there's another one later, and I know that that one's a little bit better. Okay, so there's a reason to this one. Hurry Scurry Galaxy is another in and out Galaxy, and this one is super quick, but I think this one's funny. You just have to hit all the musical notes and run really fast, and it's super easy if you just follow the path. You can do like a long jump, and you can just keep going around and around in a circle, and you'll never get the start. But having said that, for a Galaxy itself, I'm putting it in the C section with Flip Switch. Yeah, that looks normal. Sling Pod Galaxy, I'm pretty sure is another Hungry Luma one, which is outside of the Terrace. I don't really like this Galaxy too much. I've always found that the pulling back and shooting the sling pods, I can never get the angles right. And so for me personally, I reckon this might be our first D Galaxy. Like, I'm sure it's great, but for me, didn't hit it. Bowser Star Reactor. Okay, first Bowser fight in the game. I think this one is really cool. It sets the scene perfectly. There's bad guys all over the place. There is lava flying everywhere. You fight Bowser. I love the Bowser fights. I think they are so fun. I'm giving Bowser's Star Reactor an A, knowing that there are better Bowser fights coming up. So this is a good start, but it gets better. Beach Ball Galaxy. Man, this is the perfect beach land. You got the penguins, you got a little bowl to swim in, you've got that crazy galaxy where everything goes super fast. This is just a good combination of beach and getting bashed up by womps. I think that's really good. Give him an S. It's this time for 2 S's in a row. Honestly, Ghostly Galaxy is fantastic. And it also has Luigi. There's also that Boo race where you have to get the grab stars and just fly through and beat the Roadster Boo person. I think that's fun. Give it an S. Bubble Breeze Galaxy, honestly, is another one of those galaxies where I'm like, It introduces the bubble mechanic, which, don't get me wrong, is great, but just in terms of general vibes, there's poison everywhere. If you fall, you die. Aesthetically, doesn't really do it for me. I'm gonna put it in the D section. Sorry to all the bubble-blowing double babies out there who really enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you're a bubble-blowing double baby. Boy Base Galaxy has some of the best music in the entire game, and you get 1 star. It's an in-and-out galaxy where you kind of have to lower the section of the boy so that way you can climb up to the very top. That 1 star is really good, and I wish there were more. Boy Base gets a B because there are 2 Bs in there and there should be more, and if there was an extra star, it would go into the A section. Drip Drop Galaxy is... okay. It's just a water galaxy and you fight a few eels. I'm not a huge fan of the underwater mechanics, although when you do get a shell, it's very nice and you can swim a lot faster. It is an in and out galaxy. There's 1 star there, and once it's done, you're like, okay, I'm probably going to forget about this. So this one, I'm going to put Drip Drop Galaxy in the C because I think it's better than Sling Pod and Bubble Breeze. Bowser Jr.'s Airship Armada is the 3rd boss of the 3rd world of Mario Galaxy, and I think it's fine. You actually fight Bowser Jr. on his airship after going on different types of ships, which I think is really nice. The journey there is really good, and there's that cool escalator thing which takes you for a little zoom. I think for a boss battle, I think it's pretty decent. So I'm going to put Bowser Jr.'s Airship Armada as a B. It's no Bowser fight, but it's decent. Gusty Garden Galaxy.
Just took it to my veins!
Oh, so good. This cold, jaded heart feels again thanks to Gusty Garden Galaxy. You can spin the little dandelions and fly off into the breeze. Like, I just think it's so cool. It's just such a beautiful, fun galaxy. Just, you know what? I don't even need to say anything. Play Gusty Garden Galaxy and then come back here and tell me that it's not an S. Freeze Flame Galaxy, I think, has a really nice blend of freeze and flame, and each star kind of represents a different element and then it ties together at the end. The first star is cold. The second star is hot. The third star is a mix of both. Perfect. Freeze Flame, you also get an S. Dusty Dune Galaxy is probably the first big galaxy that I don't really care for. In terms of a desert level, it actually is really good. There is a nice variety of things you can do. There's the whirlwinds which you can go in, there's the tower you can climb. For a desert level, it is great, but for me, I don't really like desert levels. Honey Climb Galaxy is a funny one because it's B Mario and I'm not really the biggest fan of B Mario, but this is good because there is a YouTube video out there which has a very funny Tobey Maguire Spider-Man meme based on this galaxy. So straight away, that's an automatic level up. As a bee, you get to float on flowers or on clouds, or you can stick to honey, and I think the sticking to honey is the best part about B Mario. So, Honey Climb Galaxy, I'm going to put you... no, not there. I'm going to put you in the C section. Big Mouth Galaxy is funny because it's also an in and out galaxy, but the end is hilarious. So you start the level off and there's this treasure chest and it's made of gold and you're like, what's in here? So you have to go and find the golden Koopa shell. So you go into the Big Mouth, there's a whole lot of water sections. Eventually you find it, you go all the way back, you open the chest, Captain Toad's in there. Beautiful. Comedic relief. Purely for Captain Toad, chuck him in the B. Bowser's Dark Matter Plant is the fourth boss battle in Mario Galaxy, but it's the second Bowser fight. There's sections of like dark matter where if you hit it, you just disintegrate, and 15-year-old me saw that and was like, ah! There's also a really cool puzzle gravity section where you have to go on the right sides of this like floating X thing, and once you're on it, the gravity flips based on where it's moving. I think that's just really good, like, brain bending. Bowser's Dark Matter Plant also goes into the A section, but it goes above Bowser's Star Reactor. Not that this is ranked at all. Like, it's not, the list isn't like Good Egg Galaxy is the #1 galaxy. They're all S, but I know that Bowser's Dark Matter Plant is better than Bowser's Star Reactor. So, let's move on. Gold Leaf Galaxy, I think, is a bit silly because if you look at it closely, it's just a mirror of Honey Hive Galaxy.
They're the same picture.
However, there are different things about it. First of all, it's autumn.
Wow.
Second of all, there actually are some other things that are different in the galaxy. But in terms of like you land on it, you see it and you're like, I've been here before. Gold Leaf Galaxy, you get to go in the B section under Honey Hive because the lack of originality is telling. Sea Slide Galaxy is my least favorite galaxy in the game. I've said it. I'm putting it in the F section. The galaxy is just too big. A couple of the stars are decent where you're racing some shark or you're racing the penguins. I think those stars are really good. However, you have to find the 5 silver stars. Too big, too long. I'm pretty sure there's also a purple comet star where you have to get 100 coins. Too big, too long. The great thing about Mario Galaxy is that it really confines the areas that you can play in, and Sea Slide Galaxy is just too big for that. Compared to all the other galaxies that, yes, are bigger, those galaxies confine themselves in and make the objective a whole lot more worthwhile compared to Sea Slide where it's just like, go get the stars all the way over there. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. Toy Time Galaxy is fantastic. First of all, you land, the cool boopity Mario music pops on, Captain Toad's riding around on a train. What more do you want? It also introduces Spring Mario, and a few people I know out there really don't like Spring Mario. He's too bouncy, he's too hard to control. However, it's unique. I don't even think Mario likes being Spring Mario. There's the Mario section which you can fly onto and get the 100 coins for a little bit of a challenge. That's probably one of the hardest 100 coin challenges. And also, there's cake. Toy Time Galaxy gets an S. Bone Fin Galaxy is almost exactly the same as Drip Drop Galaxy because you're fighting eels. However, you're fighting one big eel as opposed to like 3 smaller eels. But when you're fighting the one big eel, smaller eels come out to try and distract you. However, if you just go for the one big eel, you're going to be okay. I'm gonna rate this one above Drip Drop Galaxy. Just. Sand Spiral Galaxy is another in and out one. However, I think this one has a little bit of a flaw. You get to pick between being Boo or B Mario to get to the star at the end. I don't think I've met anyone who picks B Mario. B Mario is a lot slower, whereas Boo Mario can just float to the end. The end section is really cool regardless of which power-up you choose. You can get the invincibility star and just run through this spirally thing and the stars on this little planet at the end. I think that's decent. But in terms of level design, Sand Spiral, I think you're going into the D section. Bowser Jr.'s Lava Reactor is a fine boss battle, but you are fighting King Caliente from Good Egg Galaxy. It's just kind of upping the stakes a little bit by having the ground covered in lava, and if you stand somewhere for too long, then you get hurt. In terms of a boss fight, I don't really like seeing a recycled boss. Sorry, Bowser Jr.'s Lava Reactor. Like, you should have been the first boss. I'm gonna put him in the D section. Deep Dark Galaxy, honestly, I don't mind too much. It's got a lot of variety for what it is. There's like a bubble star where you have to kind of climb to the top and get shooten off by bubbles, which I think is pretty fun. There's a section where you go into a cannon and shoot yourself to another planet, and then you get another invincibility star and smash through all of these little purple things. I'm gonna put this guy in C, but I'm definitely putting it above Bone Fin and Drip Drop Galaxy. Dreadnought Galaxy, I think, looks so sick. Just in terms of what it looks like, oh, so cool. If that's a space station, sign me up, I'm going. There's a lot of gravity flipping in some of this level, and I think that's really fun. So Dreadnought Galaxy, I'm putting you in the A. Matter Splatter Galaxy is a one and done galaxy, however, beautiful. Vibes, immaculate. The level appears and disappears based on all these drops that are just flying all over the screen, and there's a Spring Mario section where you can't see what's above you until it appears, and so you can't jump onto it until the ground actually appears, and I think that's really cool. For a one and done galaxy, Matter Splatter Galaxy, here we go. I'm giving it an A. Melty Molten Galaxy probably goes the absolute hardest in terms of just pure spectacle. There is just so much to love about this galaxy, and I reckon one of my favorite parts of the entire game is when you shoot from a warp star next to a volcano and you're flying out and then the volcano explodes behind you. Oh. Automatic S, straight away. Snowcap Galaxy, I probably like equally as much as Sea Slide Galaxy. It's a one and done galaxy, however, the one and done is incredibly boring. You have to use the motion pointer to push away all the snow that's fallen on the ground, so that way you can find all of the blue switches, so that way you can open up a little chasm which reveals the fire flowers just to go through the process of finding these 3 bunnies. And to top it all off, it's timed. If you don't do it in the time limit, you lose. Don't really like this galaxy, I'm putting it in the F section, sorry. Boo's Boneyard Galaxy is pretty decent for another one and done galaxy. You get to fight the Racer Boo again, but this time it's a 2D side-scrolling adventure. I think it's pretty quick, it's pretty fun. I like when you hit the question mark coin and the fans push you down further, which is really good. I'm gonna put that in the B section. For a one and done galaxy, decent. We're nearly at the end, everyone. We've got Final Boss, the bonus galaxies, and then Grand Finale Galaxy. Bowser's Galaxy Reactor, I think, is such a cool final boss. It takes elements from everything in the entire game and puts it together in this gauntlet run, which is just magnificent. You've got gravity switching sections, you've got snow sections, you've got fire sections, you've got sand sections, you've got disappearing panel sections, you've got this rotating lava sphere with bullet bills flying at you, you save Peach, you fight Bowser, the phases of fighting Bowser are all different. Such a good end. Such a good end, I'm putting it in S. Bubble Blast Galaxy is the first green star galaxy, and like, it's fine. You get to use the bubble mechanic again, but this time you're in space. If you hit the electricity, you fall, you die. I'm gonna put this one in the C section. Rolling Gizmo Galaxy is Rolling Green Galaxy. You know I mentioned that I do love Rolling Green Galaxy. However, it's harder and better. It's got that real Rube Goldberg kind of machine feel to it, where like you fly down all these like metal railings and you go wee, and just like all over the place. And I think Just when you nail it, it's really fun. I'm gonna put that in the A section, honestly. Up there with Matter Splatter Galaxy. Loop-de-Swoop Galaxy is better than Loop-de-Loop Galaxy because it's another bonus star and it's much harder. You actually do a loop-de-loop as well, which, in terms of space, where's gravity? I don't even know. If you're comparing loop-de-loop to loop-de-swoop, then loop-de-swoop is harder, longer, and better. So, I'm gonna put Loop-de-Swoop Galaxy in the B section. Grand Finale Galaxy. You only unlock Grand Finale Galaxy once you've gotten 120 stars as Mario, then you've unlocked Luigi, get 120 stars, then you get Grand Finale Galaxy, which is just Peach's Castle with 100 coins. In terms of like a grand finale, like a Champions Road-esque, that didn't exist back then. Mario Galaxy 2 really brings out a true grand finale galaxy with Grand Master Galaxy, so I really don't feel like Grand Finale Galaxy kind of hits it for me. So unfortunately, even though it is the end, Grand Finale Galaxy, you get to go into the C section. And there we go. There is the tier list of Super Mario Galaxy 1's Galaxies. Let me know what you think about my opinions here. If you have anything different, you are more than welcome to do it yourself and even tag me in it on socials. All my social links are in the description below, so if you do something like this and end up wanting to show me, please do, because Mario Galaxy is just such a good game and it's a game that I could talk about forever. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked the video, make sure you like, subscribe, hype the video if you can as well, and I'll see you next time. Remember to bring your A game.